Hi there, my name is Erik Haaland with David Walters Yachts. Today we're going to be taking a tour of Terra. Terra is a 2004 Hylas 54 race Salon Centerboard. It's a very rare boat. Hylas only made 8 boats with the Hylas 54 with a centerboard option. It was an expensive upgrade, but it allows the boat to get into some nice shoaly areas with less than 6-foot draft. And also you can drop the board down to about 10 feet. And so you have great upwind performance or stabilization in the seaway. And this is Terra right behind me here. So a couple of features to note about the boat. She is a race Salon, so she's got the larger picture windows. We have a teak tow rail and teak rab rails, and they're epiphanes varnished. They're in very nice condition. We also have the stainless rub rail. The top sides were repainted all ripped jet black high gloss in 2014 with a gold toe stripe and red boot stripes. It's a very nice color combination and it looks fantastic. Looking at the boat, we can see the mainsail up here. This is a newer mainsail. It's only about a year or so old. We also have some fairly new canvas here, and we'll take a look at that in a bit, but we'll see that the canvas is built-in solar array on top as well. Looking at, we have extended aft pulpit stanchions. These come forward about another 5 feet than standard. It's a nice option for a little bit extra stability when you're standing around deck. We also have a great light trap cradle right here on the outside of the boat, so you don't have to get out of a lazarette or anything. You just cut it loose and get poised. Now, another mention here about the sail plan. This is in-mast furling here, and we also have a full cutter rig, and we have an oversized staysail furler. It's actually the same size as a Genoa furler. Current owners purchased her in 2014, and they have since taken her across the Atlantic to the Mediterranean. They cruised the Mediterranean for the past several years and just arrived back to the U.S. a month ago. So the boat just crossed the Atlantic, and as you'll see, she's in really, really great condition. So we're going to step on board, and we're going to take you around the deck, and then we're going to go ahead and go through the interior. So Centerboard Terra, first thing we're going to notice here is we got the lifeline stanchions. These are extra high stanchions. They're offshore height, a nice 30 inches. So they're actually up to my thighs. I'm 6'2", so they're quite high on me actually. Much higher than normal boats out there. And also the stanchions themselves are 1.25 inches in diameter. So they're very beefy, great for offshore use. You can see how thick this rigging is. And you can see that it's in really nice condition. There's no rust. There's no leaks coming out around the chain plates or anything I can see there. The other thing to note about this boat is there's almost no crazing on deck, which is incredible for the age of the boat and for having crossed the Atlantic twice, spent a lot of time in the Med. It's in very nice cosmetic condition. You can see up here, we've got a couple of parade vents with their guards. All the port lights are stainless steel, and we have these very nice Taiwanese-made manship hatches with stainless frames. Up here at the mast, we have electric mainsail furling motor. It does have a manual crank as a backup. We also have our halyard winches right here to raise and lower the main, Genoa, staysail, and spinnaker. We have a whisker pole for the Genoa. And over here, up on the bow, this is a nice deep locker right here. There's actually a whole dinghy in here at the moment. This goes down about 6.5 feet. We also have fenders and some other storage. At the bottom here, there's an access door to get to the forward holding tank. But it's a great area to toss your sails or any other gear that you want to put in storage up here. It's a nice watertight hatch. All you gotta do is seal it up, and there you go. Up on the bow, we have 2 anchor rollers. It's a built-in stainless steel one-piece plate that's been very nicely crafted by artisans at Hylas Yachts. And this is the anchor locker. We have a split anchor well on either side for 2 rows, and we have more storage behind for fenders and dock lines and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of storage up here on the bow of the boat for all your gear you need dockside, and then you can store it when you get on the way. We go back aft here on the starboard side. Then we out here we do have running backstays. This is in a storage position right here. When they're in use, you're going to take this clip here off, and you're going to walk it back all the way to a pad eye back in the stern there. And that's so you can stabilize the center of the mast when you're using the staysail. a nice low dodger here with an opening front window. We also have a connector piece with the bimini and side windows. So you can remove the side windows and still have the bimini and the full dodger that protects the companionway down below. And as I mentioned before, up top here we have a really nice solar array. There are 6 panels up here, and there's a nice solar truck controller down below. They work very, very well, and they're a modern type of setup, so you don't have to have huge panels hanging up the back of the boat. It's the propane locker. There's a large single bottle in this one. Propane grill, which is a hose in there, just run it up, connect it in place. These nice teak seats is actually fold down. Actually, I'm sorry, fold up on this one. These clip in place. Thread this in. To lock the seat up. And then you have access to your lazarettes. We have 2 aft lazarettes, port and starboard, which are nice and deep. They go aft a good bit here. It's a great place to put all your cleaning supplies or diving gear and sort of thing. And all the hats are gasketed, and they're all locking. So you can lock these offshore, and you don't get any water in here. And they also, the lift drains directly over the side. If you do get water in here, it can be pumped out by the aft bilge pump. And the aft bilge pump is in the transom lazarette, which is accessed through here under these steps. This whole step here picks up. You have a nice transom garage to put our gear into. You have your swim ladder. And then up here, we have our satellite phone antenna. We have our Wi-Fi booster antenna. Of course, we have our dinghy outboard mounted here on our crane. There's no davits on this boat. You know, some people say they want davits, some people say they don't because of the look. This particular owner, they just like to have the dinghy up on the bow when it's not being used, or if they're crossing the ocean, they're going to deflate it and store it below. We can go either way. If you want davits, we can put davits on the boat. That's not a problem. Back behind the cockpit, we've got our main sheet traveler. We have our hatch over the aft cabin, and a couple more Duray vents. As I mentioned, we have a life raft cradle on this side, GPS antennas, and then we have another storage locker on this side here that can either fit a spare propane tank or any other storage equipment you would want. Our 50-amp shore power plug is here, along with our cable TV and telephone. This is a really nice setup in here. If you haven't been aboard a Hylas 54 before, or any Hylas, you can see that the view is incredible. You can see the stern corners, you can see the bow, and you see all sides of the boat. Now, if you're in an aft cockpit boat, you're sitting a lot lower, and it would be hard to see the bow, especially on a 54 boat of this size. So it makes the boat feel smaller. It's a much more stable position. It's a much drier position as well. You're nicely protected by these high bulwarks. You put the side panels in and have yourself completely secure. You can be up here when it's blowing 30 and in a t-shirt. No worries. We've got nice cockpit cushions here. Nice pattern, and they also are not just laying there, but they can be snapped in place, and all the side cushions can be zipped to them. So they were really thoughtful about making sure they didn't lose any cushions overboard. Right here at the helm, we have a graphic instrument right here, and we have our autopilot controller. We also have our bow thruster and VHF light, and of course the compass. Up on the companionway, we have a row of 3 instruments, depth, speed, and wind up there. We do have 2-speed Amtel primary winches. We have manual secondaries and manual main switch back here. Okay, so here we're on the cockpit. I wanted to mention before going below that we have this nice alfresco dining table here. It's nicely highly varnished solid teak. Drop leaves open up like this. We have 4 cup holders up here as well. And then it's really easy to lower. All you gotta do is pull that right there, drop it on down, and there we go. Table's out of the way. We do have jackline mounting points here in the cockpit already rigged. We also have jackline mounting points on the stern and on the bow. So it's great to see, you know, a boat that's already pre-rigged with all this gear that you can go offshore tomorrow. The boat's fully ready as it sits right now. So going below, so here we are, we're in the Salon of Terra. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this is the race Salon model. So we have incredible headroom up here. I'm 6'2", and you can see just how much headroom we have available on this boat. We have the larger picture windows. So at my height, I'm right in the middle of the windows. I can see out almost all the way to the front. I can see just a little bit of the deck, and I can see all the way surrounding here. We have, for cushions, we have ultra leather and white cushions. We have a nice table right here, and this table actually opens up, and there's a third piece that goes in with a built-in chessboard. And this table will raise and lower. You can lower this down, it locks in place. You can put a couple other cushions in here and turn this into a bed. This moves back and forth, so you can use it as an ottoman, sit here, or use it as another seat at the dining table. This side over here pulls out another 8 inches, so you can throw this into a sea berth. And both of these have leak cloths already built into them, and actually all of the berths on the boat already have leak cloths built in, and they have pad eyes already built in. You see a little bit hidden right here. There's one there, and there's one back in there. So we have a way to make sure that everyone on the boat is nicely protected while they're underway. A little bit forward here, we got our TV. We have an air conditioner just for this area. The boat has 3 16,000 BTU air conditioners with reverse cycle heat, and even in the Florida humidity and heat, it is very, very pleasant down below. It's in the low 70s right now down here, so it feels absolutely fantastic. On this side, we have a liquor cabinet with a built-in little table right here, so it's great to be able to pull out all your cocktails and serving. Going through the galley, you step down here. Again, about headroom, I'm wearing flip-flops in here, so I've got a little bit, less headroom than I normally would if I was barefoot. But look, I've still got about 1 inch of headroom. I'm standing straight up and down right here. Normally on a lot of boats I stoop a little bit because I'm so tall. But here I've got plenty of headroom. I can skin by, and I don't hit anything going forward and aft. In the galley here, we've got a great setup. We've got an ice maker right here, trash compactor, great to have for offshore use. A lot of storage for plates and cutlery and that sort of thing. 2 large refrigerators with built-in lighting. When you open the lid here, the light comes on inside, and you have an upper and lower storage area, and you can access the lower storage area by pulling up the grate or by opening the door right there. We have a dishwasher built in right here. We have a very nice GE convection microwave. And then we have the Force 10 free burner propane stove. And then we have more storage drawers back here. We have a nice pantry at this side. So for a galley for a 54-foot boat, there's a tremendous amount of storage. Around the sides, underneath, there's actually dry storage here under these floorboards. We even have a little spice rack here built in, put all your spices and stuff. So all Hylases, every single boat is slightly different from the other depending on what features you put on. So stuff you see on this boat may not be on the next boat. It just depends on how the owner built it. So keep that in mind and see what the features are here. They may not mimic the next one out there. So it's just a really nice setup that the original owner did on this boat. The current owners or the second owner, they love this boat. They think it's fantastic. But their journeys are now over, and now she's ready for the next one. So let's go back and look at the master stateroom. The aft master, and this is something that a lot of people looking at Hylases really adore, is you have a centerline queen berth. And in this particular boat, we have nice steps up either side against the berth. On some boats, there may be a settee over here, and they decided we wanted the extra storage, and we wanted the steps up. So there's storage under each of the floorboards, so you can pull them up individually. There's storage here on the sides. We have a big hanging locker over here. We have a TV, bookshelves, his and her, on our side of the bed. And over here, we have a nice pop-up vanity with a mirror. We have another hanging locker. And the note about the hanging lockers is that a lot of them have shelves built in. That's because they're dual use. There's actually bars already built into every single locker on the boat, so you can hang gear and just take the shelves out when you want to. This one here, they were using as a shelf locker, and they've got these nice little nets right here to keep things in, so when you heel the boat and you're trying to get stuff out in the morning, well, you don't want it all falling on top of you. We have a nice wardrobe right here. then we have a private master head. Great mirror on this bulkhead, by the way. And this door locks into place. It's going in here. This is the head area at the moment. We have a Raritan Elegance head that can be used with fresh or saltwater flush. Sink right here, Wally stone countertops, and then underneath we have access to valves and storage. And there's also storage behind each of the mirrors here. Going in a little bit further, we have a separate shower stall with great amount of room in here. Remember, I'm pretty tall, so I can get around here just fine. And right outboard here, we have a washer dryer unit. And then on this side here, a little bit difficult to see because we have actually the shower door here. This was another little feature that they put on at the factory when Hylas built the boat. Some boats have this, some don't, but this is nice to have, so someone can be using the sink or the head, and someone can be taking a shower and not getting each other wet. But behind this door here, we have a little bit of mechanical access. This is all nicely insulated. This is your water heater, and then we have the front end of the generator on this side. Right over the galley here, we've got a couple nice open port lights, so you keep yourself nice and cool when you're using the stove. We also have a light right here, so that when you're out there and you want to see what's in the oven, you can hit this and open the oven door and take a look inside. Right here, we start getting access to the mechanical stuff on the boat for main access. This is your main generator, and then your generator sea strainer and your dripless shaft seal right there. This is a Northern Lights genset. It was replaced in, I think it was 2009, I want to say. It's got about 2,600 hours on it. And there's the back side of the engine. It's the 125 horsepower. It's the upgraded engine for this boat, turbocharged. And as you can see, there's a lot of space in there. So you can get all the way in there. You can do all the maintenance on the boat yourself. It's not like you have to hire someone with small hands to get the things. All the hatches are positive locking. They have pins top and bottom. There we go. We have a freshwater foot pump right here. Standard pressure water, freshwater, and then we have the freshwater pump by the foot. There's a Seagull water filter on this one here. Double basin stainless steel sink. Access to the engine on this side. And then we of course have access in the front as well. The water tank valves, the fuel tank valves. It's a nice little fuel tank chart that tells everyone what tank is being fed from and where it's been returned to. There are 5 fuel tanks on this boat. And then we have our engine rate core filters. This is a dual filter setup, so you can change filters underway without stopping the engine. We also have a vacuum gauge that tells you if the filter's getting clogged. We also have a water sensor on here. That alarm will go off if there's water detected in the filter. Over here we've got the nav station. This nice high-end leather office chair. This is a really nice seat. We have flip-up teak armrests. We have our Raymarine 14-inch chart plotter down here. We have a backup standard horizon plotter. We have stereo, VHF, single sideband. Our backup Raymarine autopilot. So if you need to use this, if that one up there has an issue, you unplug it, lower this panel, you plug it back in. Speaking about lowering panels, on these boats it's very easy to access all the gear. So all you gotta do is pull this pin and rotate this panel down, and here is the back side of all the electronics here. We have our stereo amplifiers, we have our Raymarine seat talk system, and we have a lot of our DC wiring here. And everything's nicely labeled. This is all done at the factory, so really, really beautiful setup. We have over here our main panel. We've got our DC switches, we have our in current switches, we have our meters up here, generator panel, and then this is a very special switch. If you're reading the listing, you would note that there was a special upgrade done to this boat that probably no other Hylas has. At least I haven't seen one yet. But with this switch right now it's on USA/generator. We can switch it to Europe as well. What that means is that the boat has complete universal power capability. What that allows you to do is you can go over to Europe, you can be plugged into the dock, and you can use the standard 220, 50 hertz power. It'll convert over to 220 60 hertz automatically, and then you can use all your separate motors that are on it, like your air conditioners, like your washing machine, that sort of stuff. Everything that the motor would run on 50 hertz for a while, but eventually would fail because it was not the correct frequency. This prevents that. This is a very nice feature they had, so they don't have to run their generator, to run their washing machine, or anything else like that. They can keep the hours on the generator low. It's a nice setup right here. Underneath, you can't quite see it, but take my word for it, there's the bigger master battery switches down here, and your disconnects to the engine generator load. Up here, we have a meter for the solar, telling us what's going on. Right now, it's got a happy face on it, so I'm guessing it works right. We have a nice little desk over here. Here's a nice satellite phone setup. Depending on the option you had, you could have had a pass-through here into the aft head. The owners originally decided they wanted to have a little desk here, so you put a laptop or the SAP phones they have right now. They have more storage up here. They have more drawers down here, so it makes a great little office area. Coming out of this area, we're actually going to step forward now into the guest area of the boat. Take a look at this. Being a centerboard boat, but many people looking at houses have probably never seen this before, except for the few that own these boats. So this is the actual centerboard ram right here. The throw is only about a foot, and you have this nice Dyneema core line that goes down, and it takes a turn, it goes aft, and then it goes down again. And it's on a nice purchase system, so this is why you only need this much of a stroke. And there's a motor that's mounted up under the guest berth here. This is the guest cabin, and this one's got this nice little feature where this whole board actually comes out, and this filler cushion goes into place. So you can make this, and I'll just demo it for you, a berth that big. So you can make this up to almost a full double-sized berth. More storage above. There's lots of storage underneath here. More drawers. A lot of owners use this as a workshop and cabin. As you can see, you get a lot of tools and spare parts in here. You can take this cushion up to lay it on that, use it as a workshop. We do have a built-in TV up here. Nice flip-down setup. We also have plug-ins here, so if you wanted to plug in, for say an entertainment system for the kids, for the Xbox or that kind of thing, we have that full set built in. Nice mirror on the bulkhead. Again, lead cloth mounting points, and we have these little holders here for the hatch boards, so they can go in place, and you don't have to fumble with trying to put them somewhere. We have a little closet there, more drawers down below. And then moving forward into the VIP cabin, we got full beam, queen size V berth up here with a center partition that can be removed. We got more storage around, 2 hanging lockers on either side, deck hatch right here, and with built-in screen as well. And then we have storage for a couple of fishing rods up on the overhead. So you gotta have fishing rods when you're going offshore. It's just part of the game. There we are. So here we are. This is the forward guest head. So similar to the aft head, we got a Wally stone countertop. We have our mirrors with storage behind. We have a freshwater electric head, and now we have a separate shower stall, again with the glass shower door. And all the showers and the sink do drain into a gray water tank, which is an excellent feature because over in Europe, a lot of them do not allow gray water direct discharge. So they do drain into a tank, and then it can be pumped out later on. The tank actually sits right under here in front of the centerboard. So, well, that's been a tour of terror. There's a lot about this boat that makes some really great remarks. The boat is fully offshore capable. It's already set to go across the ocean again. It's got great sails. It looks really nice. It's just a great color combination on everything. So if you're interested in the boat, feel free to give us a call. My name is Erik Haaland. I'm with David Walters Yachts, 410-279-3027. And it's Erik at davidwaltersyachts.com.